Hi everyone, this is your Mama Lot, and if you're new to my channel, I help teachers find teaching jobs here in the United States. I also talk about culture and lifestyle as I navigate my journey along the way, so follow me. So if you're a teacher and you already have a job offer and you are planning to come here in the United States alone first and wanted to get your family right after you settled everything, and you wanted to know what's the process, the paperwork, what are usually the questions for the visa interview, how much will it cost. Well, this video is just right for you. So let's start. So as you already know, I come here in the United States alone at first. I did not brought with me my family at first because it will be very hard for me to adjust, and I have to start from a scratch. So when you start life in another country, in another place, it will be a bit hard because first you have to look for a place to live, you have to adjust to the weather, to the food, the lifestyle, to the culture, language, everything. So I think it's better for me to start alone so that whenever my family come in here, it's not that hard. And in that way, I can also save money for us to start our life in here. And another reason is that I wanted to bring my family in here during summertime and or after a year, because nagpunta ako dito around March 2024, and I wanted to bring them here next year summer. So in that way, hindi sila masyadong mag-adjust sa weather because it's not cold, summer, it's hot, just like Philippines. And at the same time, kung saan kami pwedeng, nakapag-adjust na ako. So, saan kami pwedeng pumunta, recreational activities, government help, insurances, saan yung pinaka-cheap na mga things to buy, yung mga basic things. Alam mo na, kasi as a mom, we need to budget. And I also wanted to have the education of my kids finish first there in the Philippines. So, tinapos nila muna yung school year 2023 and 2024-2025 school year para pagpunta nila dito, start from the very beginning of the school year. So, hindi sila masyadong mag-a-adjust. I know there are some negative impact or things that will happen to me because coming here alone is such a challenge. First, I suffered depression, anxiety. It developed siya along the month, and it's really along the time na nagstay ako alone here in the United States, and I suffer that depression thing. Communication alone is very hard for me as a mom. Kapapanganak ko pa lang 8 months or 9 months almost a year na pala yung baby ko. Iniwan ko siya sa Pilipinas. Birthday niya, April 2, umalis ako March 28. Napakahirap ng aking sitwasyon. But I don't have a choice. I have to face reality. I must be strong for them. Not only for them, but for the next generation to come. Not only me, but also my kids. They also will suffer without their mother. They have to adjust to the people that will, take care of them, like yaya or helper, other people, alaga sa kanila. Before ako umalis, we agreed, we talked, yung mga darating na mga pagsubok sa aming buhay. But after that, I know it will be worth it. Everything will be worth it. And just like now, they're here. And yeah, we surpass everything in God's prayer, in God's help. Nalagpasan po namin lahat ng iyon. So, I wanted to share the steps on getting your family in here, the process. So, ihanda nyo na yung sarili ninyo once you decided na pupunta kayo dito alone. I mean, getting your family later. First, I will talk about the steps, okay? So, una, before ako pumunta dito, pinakaunang step na ginawa ko is for them to have their own passport. Kasi mahirap yung kung ibang tao pa ang kukuha ng passport mo, marami pang mga power of attorney or yung mga paperworks na gagawin. So, as a mother, ikaw na yung mismo yung kukuha ng passport ng mga anak mo. And at the same time, kailangan mong i-prepare yung mga documents, original ones like birth certificate, marriage certificate, everything na needed. Kasi nga, di ba usually women are more meticulous. We are more, yung bang mas maano tayo sa paperworks kaysa sa mga husband natin. So, i-separate mo na, ihanda mo na lahat-lahat ng mga paperworks para hindi ka na mahirapan, including yung mga baptismal nila, yung ng mga bata, at saka yung health certificate nila, ihanda mo na rin yun kasi gagamitin yun sa school nila, mga documents for their schooling here. So, after preparing, I prepared all the documents. Nagpunta na ako dito, syempre. And then, after nakapag-decide na ako na this is the right time for them to have their visa interview, nakapag-ipon-ipon na din ako ng pera, nakapaghanda na ako ng mga, nakapag-settle na ako, kumbaga, meron na kaming bahay, may apartment na kami, may sasakyan, kasi ang hirap nang walang sasakyan dito. Na-take ko na yung mga exams na kailangan kong i-take, so, hindi na ako masyadong mai-stress, pagpunta nila dito. Basta ready na, okay? In God's grace, na ready ko na lahat. So, nakapag-decide na ako na it's time for them to prepare. First things first, kasi ready na yung mga documents, gumawa kami ng number one, to have their DS-160. May 3 akong anak at saka husband. Silang lahat naghanda ng DS-160. So, isa-isang profile. And then, after that, once you have your DS code, yung AA, tsaka yung mga numbers, yun yung gagamitin mo para makapag-create ka ng account for US Embassy account. So, number 2 step, gumawa ka ng US Embassy account. Isa-isa din yun. Isa-isa yung, sa mga anak ko at saka sa husband ko, meron silang tigi-isang US Embassy account. After that, once nakapag-create ka na, just follow the steps, enter those important details, upload the important documents, especially the passport number, DS number, and all the necessary documents. Magpo-provide ka na ng receipt kung saan babayaran mo yung MRV. MRV sa bank or online, depende. Nasa yan. Preferences, pag-click mo. Nasa US Embassy account mo yan, kung saan mo babayaran. So, ang binayaran namin sa MRV is around $249 or 11,000, I think. Yung MRV is very important because it will allow you to schedule your fingerprint and consular interview. So, kailangan meron sila. It doesn't matter kung anong age yung mga anak mo, walang discount. So, $249 yung MRV payment namin. After that, you have to wait 4 hours or maximum 12 hours kung hinintay yung reflection or nag-reflect yung payment namin. Then, nakaproceed na kami for our scheduling of fingerprint and embassy schedule. Now, before, yung embassy schedule namin, sa akin last 2024, yung fingerprint and embassy interview ko, isang schedule lang yun, one setting lang yun, one day. But now, they separated the fingerprinting and the consular interview. So, separate date siya. If you have kids around 14 years old below, you can waive their interview. So, pwede mo silang hindi dalhin sa Manila para makapag-interview. It's no need. Kailangan mo lang isend through LBC. Ano yung dapat na dalhin or isend mo ng mga documents to the embassy for the interview waiver of your kids. You need to send the passport, original birth certificate of the kids, and your NOAA notice of action, and or your I-197, their DS-160, 2x2 picture dapat latest 2x2 or passport size para sigurado kami dalawa yung sinend ko, 2x2 and passport size na photo ng kids ko. Oops, it's already time. I have to continue the talk later after school. So, kitang-kita nyo naman at tayo ay busy-busy. So, ating ipagpatuloy ang ating naputol na diskusyon. Pag nag-reflect na yung payment mo sa bangko, yung MRV fee mo, so your dependents can now set their schedule for fingerprint and consular interview. Now, as I have told you before, yung fingerprint at consular interview, separate na yung schedule niya. So, I got my 14 years old kid and my husband. So, they went to Manila. They have their fingerprinting Friday. That was around February 25. I don't know. Let me check. So they went to Manila and then they have their fingerprint. It was Friday. That was February 21 or 22. And their consular interview, that was February 24, I think. So, silang dalawa nagpunta doon. So, ano yung kailangan for your fingerprinting? Of course, you should bring your confirmation date, and then your passport, and then your 2x2 or your 2x2 or your passport size photo. So, dun pa lang sa gate ng fingerprint, kukunin na yun. And then, syempre, mag-fingerprint. Tapos, kung wala kang picture, kukunin ka ng picture and everything. And then, on Monday, around February 24, they have their interview. So, ano-ano yung mga kailangan sa interview? Of course, original copy. This is really important sa mga H4 husband or sa mga wife. Kailangan magdala ng birth certificate, yes, and your marriage certificate. Importante yan. Tsaka mga original, ha? And then, you're gonna also bring your DS-160. And they will also bring the photocopy of your visa and your NOAA. Okay lang yung photocopy kasi nasa iyo yung original, di ba? But the rest of the documents, it should be original. It's really fast. Unlike before, it took us like 2 hours. But now, sa consular interview, mabilis lang siya. It's like 45 minutes. So, yun na nga. Nagpunta na sila sa consular interview by Monday. So, my husband and my 14-year-old kid. And what are the questions that my husband was asked about? So, ito yung mga questions niya. Let me grab my copy here. I don't want to forget or miss an information. So, tinanong sa kanya, what's the purpose of your travel? And then, tinanong na, what's my work? What's the H1B or your wife's work? So, of course, a teacher. Then, where is she teaching? And, sino-sino yung or who are with you during this travel? So, sinabi ng husband ko na together with my kids. And then, the consular also asked follow-up questions like, how old are the kids? And then, did you already pay for the reciprocity fee? Did you already send their documents? So, something like that. And you should be honest because when my husband said he already sent the documents via LBC because they are so young, tiningnan agad ng consular yung kung nagsasabi ka ba ng katotohanan. So, tiningnan niya yun sa computer niya. And then, everything's correct. And then, the counselor said, that's good. That's the answer I am looking for. That you should prioritize. Something like that. And then, for my 14-year-old kid, kasi sabay sila ng interview, ang tinanong lang sa kanya is, saan ako nagtatrabaho, what's my work, and who is he traveling with, coming here in United States, and what state I am working. So, nasagot naman lahat yan. And then, right after the interview, they have to pay for their reciprocity fee, second floor. So they paid around $459. And after that, syempre, binayaran din nila yung reciprocity fee ng dalawang anak ko, yung naka-LBC, yung naka-waiver interview. So the same fee pa din, kahit naka-waiver sila, you have to pay $459. So imagine, apat yung babayaran mong reciprocity fee. So you should have prepared money, you know, for this process. And right after that, we waited for maximum of 2 weeks para makarating yung passport and all the documents sa bahay namin. So around March, I think, March 2nd week, all the documents and the passport with the visa, kasi nga approve sila, ando na sa bahay. And then after that, kasi ibabalik yung mga birth certificate, mga original yun. So via LBC. Tsaka ikaw din yung magbabayad ng LBC ha, LBC kasi separated na isi-send nila yan. So 4 yung passport and documents na sinend. So 430 pesos each LBC delivery. Once they got the documents and the passport, we then book ticket coming here in the United States. Now this is really important. You shouldn't book a ticket, or you shouldn't book a flight here in the United States pag hindi pa approve or hindi mo pa nahawakan yung visa or yung passport mo. Diba? Kasi mahirap na, ang mahal-mahal na magkano nga ba yung nabayaran ko sa nila, sa plane ticket nila. So coming in here, kasi nga hindi pa siya peak season, diba? Kaya pinili ko yung March, hindi ako nag-summer. Ang mahal ng summer, aabot siya ng mga 2,300, 2,400 up dollars yan ha, each person. So, luckily, nakahanap ako ng around $900 yung isa sa kanila. So, may dalawang, layover sa Korea at saka sa Dallas. And it's 23 hours flight. So, napakatagal ng, ng travel nila. So, imagine I paid $900 for the 4 person. Yung kids naman, kasi si kuya, yung 14-year-old ko, wala na siyang discount kasi considered adult na siya. Yung 8-year-old ko, may discount pa siya. I paid like $700. And then yung baby, kasi nga hindi pa siya nag-birthday, April 2 yung birthday niya, remember? So, April 2, magto 2 years old na siya. So, once na 2 years old na yung baby mo, magbabayad ka na ng seat. But then, he is just 1 year old, lap lang siya. So, lap seat lang siya. Wala siyang bayad except for the tax, which I paid $200, I think. So, mga nakasave pa rin kami. Nabayaran ko lahat-lahat. I think around 3,000 pa din. Kasi may mga tax yan eh. And then, nakaswerte din kami kasi each person is allowed to have 2 baggage or luggage and a hand carry. So, yung baby ko, syempre wala. Yung ko lang, yung husband ko lang, tsaka yung dalawang anak ko. And then, yun nga, no, nakarating sila dito ng safe and sound. So, please check out this video para naman malaman nyo kung gaano katagal at ano yung mga challenges na sinapit nila. Kasi nga yung husband ko lang nagdala sa mga anak ko. May baby at saka dalawang anak. So, may baby at saka, my kuyas. It's hard, but it's enjoyable. They are all excited. Kahit na pagod, syempre, na-excite sila. Next video, I'm gonna talk about the expenses. Magkano ba lahat-lahat? Magkano ba yung dapat pong i-prepare? So, let me talk about that one in my next YouTube video. See you and please subscribe. Thank you. Bye!